Stranger Things started with innocent kids and somehow ended up full of toxic relationships, semi-divorces, and an interdimensional villain who, ironically, is the most stable of them all. Let's see who the couples of the Stranger Things cast are for Season 5. Joseph Quinn arrived as Eddie Monson and his life got out of control. His love life has been a mystery to solve until now. He has had several rumored relationships, but only some have been confirmed. For example, the first rumored partner was Doja Cat. That's right, the famous rapper. In the summer of 2024, they were seen together in London, holding hands. The singer even talked about having a crush on him before, and they were seen together several times, including a time when they left the Mexico airport together. But by the end of 2025, there's already another rumor involving the singer Grace Stevenson. Both of them were seen being affectionate at a concert in East London. Jamie Campbell Bauer has been quite the Casanova, as it's rumored that he's had more than 10 romances, of which only 7 have been confirmed. We start with Zoe Graham, a fashion designer, and Bonnie Wright. Yes, Ginny Weasley from Harry Potter. It was a real serious engagement, but it was called off in 2012. Then came the on and off relationship with Leo Lily Collins, years of breaking up and getting back together. And while he was in those on and off breakups with Lily, Jamie took the opportunity to distract himself with other women. One example is Sina Karkoplia. In 2013, another distraction was the model Matilda Loader, with whom he also had an on and off relationship. And what's interesting is that when Jamie wasn't with Matilda, he would go back to Lily. And when he wasn't with Lily, he would go back to Matilda. Ruby and Quilter, who had a much more private relationship. In 2021, he started a relationship with Jess Maloney, which so far has been the most stable relationship Jamie has had. Now, he's with Elena Tabor in a much calmer relationship, as if he's learned from past destructive ones. Now it's time to talk about Dr. Brenner, played by Matthew Modine. He's married to Karen, last name, and he doesn't have anyone else. That ends with opinions. Sustainability. Joe Keery Joe was first seen in a relationship in 2017 when he met actress Micah Monroe shortly after. Their relationship was officially confirmed when they appeared together at the premiere of the second season of Stranger Things, but sadly, their relationship ended in 2020. Since then, Joe Keery has not confirmed any other partner. However, by 2025, rumors began to circulate that he might be dating Sabrina Carpenter, the famous pop singer. The rumor started because of public appearances, event coincidences, and social media speculation. Noah Schnapp was involved in several romantic rumors at first. People really wanted him to date Millie, but it was just a good friendship. For years, he didn't have any confirmed public relationships. Nothing was ever known about his love life. And to the surprise of some, in 2023, Noah publicly clarified his preferences. In fact, some people linked him to influencers like Modine and Dacre in 2023, but those were just rumors. Caleb McLaughlin directly decided not to play this game. He doesn't have any confirmed partners. There are no compromising photos. There's nothing. Gaten Matarazzo appears to have won the love lottery, as he has been with Lizzie Yu since 2018, making their relationship over 5 years long. They grew up together, matured together, and even survived the pandemic together. They even have their own house in New Jersey and have 3 cats that they treat like their children, possibly in honor of Muse. Sadie Zink, another cast member, said, "No way, not at all." She has never confirmed any relationships publicly. There were rumors with Patrick Alwyn, but there was never any clear evidence or statements. And from here, we move on to Dacre Montgomery Dacre. In real life, he has a very long and super stable relationship with Liv Palak, an Australian model. They met before Stranger Things made him world famous around 2017. Natalia Dyer and Charlie Heaton. In fact, there's a story about Charlie that only a few people know. Before Charlie Heaton became Jonathan Byers, Charlie had already become a father in 2014 when he was around 20 years old. Charlie had a son named Archie, with Akiko Matsura, a Japanese musician and drummer. Over time, Charlie and Akiko broke up, and in fact, both decided to keep their son's life completely out of the public eye. After that stage, Charlie began his relationship with Natalia Dyer while the first season of Stranger was being filmed. And it was precisely this chemistry and bond within the series that made them connect, not just on screen. They started dating in secret without any suspicion, but by 2017 it was impossible to hide it. They've been together ever since, which means they've been in a relationship for almost 10 years. Priya Ferguson! Because the gossip here is precisely that there is no gossip. She hasn't had any confirmed relationships, there are no rumors or anything. And just when you think the most intense part is over, the adults come in. David Harbour, and one of his first known relationships was with Maria Dyer. It was something very serious. There were even rumors of an engagement, but they never made it to the altar. Then came Julia Stiles, another famous actress from the 2000s and already closer to the boom of Stranger Things. David dated Alison Sudol, a well-known actress and singer, from 2017 to 2019. But right at the height of the Stranger Things series, this relationship faded, and then Lily Allen came along. They met in 2019 through a dating app, connected really quickly, and the internet exploded. In 2020, they got married in Las Vegas, but the honeymoon didn't last forever. The marriage started to wear down. There were rumors of crisis, tension, and finally, in 2025, their separation was confirmed. Well, it was in 2024 and the beginning of 2025. Reports started coming out that David Harbour was seeing Ellie Beers Fallon, a model and actress much younger than him. And this was enough for some media outlets to say that Fallon, she could have been part of the divorce with Lily, since maybe David was cheating on her, in case you didn't know. Winona Ryder directly made a living story out of Hollywood gossip. In the 90s, she dated Johnny Depp and their romance was so intense that he got a tattoo that said Winona Forever. They were practically the perfect couple, but this didn't last forever. In fact, after their breakup, Johnny had to modify his tattoo. This leads to a long list of other relationships Winona had over time. But it wasn't until 2011 that Winona started dating Scott McKinley Hann, with whom she had the longest and most stable relationship of her life. Unfortunately, their relationship ended in 2019 after nearly a decade together. To this day, Winona Ryder has not been officially linked to any partner. Millie was only 11 years old when fame hit her, and that alone was enough to make her feel grown up. Enough to have her first boyfriend at 13 years old, Jacob Sartorius. They dedicated songs to each other, shared cheesy photos, and had video calls all day until one day, suddenly, they broke up. But this doesn't compare to her next relationships because 2 years later, she met her next love, Joseph Robinson, a 17-year-old rugby player. Although unfortunately, their relationship didn't last more than half a year. Sometime later, there were rumors that she and Louise Patrick were dating while filming Enola Holmes, but they weren't. But this was just gossip. What wasn't gossip is the next partner who had the relationship that broke Millie Bobby Brown's heart the most. Hunter Asimovich. This guy wasn't a super famous Hollywood star, he was just an influencer with some recognition on social media. She said that this was the most toxic relationship she could have had at that time. Hunter was 20 years old and Millie was only 16. Hunter himself came out and admitted that he was a toxic, messed up person, as if it was something he was really proud of.
Everything pointed to Millie never believing in love again, but in mid-2021, a guy started to catch her interest through Instagram.
And we're talking about Jake Bon Jovi, the son of John Bon Jovi. And they were so happy that they even got engaged in 2023 and then got married a year later in Italy. They are so happy that in fact in August 2025 they adopted their first daughter. And of course Noah Schnapp was the godfather of the little girl. Nothing is known about the baby, not even her name. So for now we'll call her Little Millie Bobby. Bonus, Finn Wolfhard. And in 2021, it was confirmed that he was dating Elsie Richter. She wasn't as popular as Finn, so it simply went unnoticed by many. According to the gossipers, the relationship ended due to several threats from toxic fans who didn't want Finn to have a girlfriend. Literally, they almost drove him crazy, so he broke up with Elsie because he feared for his life. As of December 2025, Wolfhard has not been linked to any new romantic partner. But anyway guys, these were all the couples from the Stranger Things cast for Season 5. What do you think? And which one is your favorite couple?